If you have been avoiding working on your personal brand and even posting because you think that, oh goodness, once I start doing that, it has to be every day, 24/7. No, no, no. Let's forget about that. It doesn't take that. I built my brand without posting 24/7. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it so you can do it too. I built a very intentional, powerful personal brand when I was still a corporate with a very high intense job and also working on building my side business. And how I did it without burnout, without compromising who I was, that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. Today, we're going to get to the point. It's 8 steps on how you can create content and start building that personal brand that is going to bring opportunities for you. Now, remember, this is not a chase with the algorithm. At the end of the day, it's how you focus on adding value. You're not in social media to impress, you're there to add value. It's good karma. You bring good value, and then great opportunities are going to come to you. I shared that because at the beginning, I watched so many YouTube videos, TikTok videos, Instagram videos, LinkedIn videos on what is the way to do it so you can be successful. And then you pay attention to everybody. Everybody has a different strategy and you'll go crazy to know, but which one is right? That's the magic. The only one that is going to know which one is right is you. And the only way you're going to know that is by starting taking action, starting a strategy, work with a strategy. There's no such thing as the perfect strategy. Work on a strategy and you measure and you adjust and you just keep getting better. So again, it's not a chase of you and the algorithm. It's really on how you are going to put your content out there for the person who needs it the most. Let's get started with the steps. Number one is to realize what's your outcome. Identify what's your outcome. Do you want to get more clients to buy your product? Do you want just to start a thought leadership personal brand? Do you want to grow your audience? Whatever is your outcome, start with that. Why the outcome is so important is because that is going to really determine what is your strategy. For example, when I started working on my YouTube strategy, I needed to identify, is this for me to grow numbers or to grow clients? Because if it's numbers, then I need to think about the journey of my client and start at very, very early stages. So I grow numbers, but not necessarily that's going to be sales, if that makes sense. But if I want to focus on I want clients, then I need to really narrow niche to the person who is probably going to be buying from me over time. So depending on that, the strategy is different. So that's why this in this game, don't compare yourself because people are going in social media for different outcomes. Numbers does not always equal in sales and revenue and income. And many times it's those small accounts that are very intentional with the audience that they have that are generating the highest amount of dollar. Anyway, going back, just identify what's your outcome. Number two is to pick your platform. And I'm going to put platforms because many people will tell you, you have to pick one. Where is your audience? And that's where you start. I disagree with that. I am a big believer of just being in every platform. That's just me. Now, in the journey where I am in my company, it's not that I have different people working for different strategies in different platforms. It's just me right now. So I do reuse some of the content that I create in one, and then where it applies, then I may use something that I created in TikTok, in Instagram, and LinkedIn. And then the caption, I just modify that. So then it is more targeted for the audience that is in each platform. But the video is still the same video. So I do it in a way that I'm not burnout. Again, right now is me. Hey. Now, the reason it's so important to start with the outcome is because also that can also influence how much time and effort and emphasis you're going to put in the platform that you decide to work with. For example, LinkedIn is more for professionals and corporate people. And honestly, that's where I started because that's where my audience was. I come from the corporate world and I still put a lot of emphasis in LinkedIn. Now, YouTube is a little bit more thought leadership and be more evergreen. And the cool thing about YouTube is that it may be, you may have a really old video that somehow it resurfaces again because of people searching for that exact material that you were educating on. And then you can think of Instagram. Instagram is a little bit more, I would say, organic and real if you make it that way, because you can create community. You can do more behind the scenes with the use of the stories. And there's a more intimacy way of connecting with your audience Instagram that you don't see on the other ones. Don't overthink it. Just pick it and go with it. With a lot of my clients, they actually start with one. They start either with Instagram or LinkedIn. Those are their favorite ones. And then we build a strategy for that. Number three is that you need to identify the area, the topics that you're going to be talking about. I mentioned this is really important, that it's not that you want to niche down, that you're only talking about one subject, but you're consistent in the areas and the topics that are along with your personal brand. Maybe it's a subject that you're passionate about, that you're an advocate for. It's about the products that you sell. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure there's a consistency. So when they say, oh, Jenny Lopez, they can think of authenticity, personal branding, starting your business. And that's how you create your community. Number four, identify a system. This is so important. A lot of people just bypass this because when they start creating this strategy, they get very hype up energy and like, oh yes, once a week I'm gonna do this, and then life happens, and then they're tired, and then I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, you know what? I just came home late from work and I'm exhausted, and then the kids have all these soccer tournaments or dance competitions, and I have no time. That's why you need a system. And I know that word is overused, but honestly, system has three elements. Number one, there is a trigger, which it means like when that happens, that's what's going to start my process. And that can be, if it's for this example of creating your social media content, it may be on Friday afternoons at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. is scheduled, or Saturday from noon to 2. Whatever you decide, there's a trigger. Something happens that's going to start the process. So number one, trigger. Number two is the process. So what is the process? Maybe you're brainstorming and then you do the video and then you edit and then you publish. Super simple, but there is something that is consistent and you're not starting again like, oh, wait a second, what do I do again? So for example, I already know a month in advance what are my weekly videos that I'm going to put here in YouTube. I know the tools that I'm going to use for recording, and many times it's Loom, sometimes it's just my phone. I know the tools that I'm going to use for editing, and in my case, it's Descript AI. And I know exactly how I'm going to be publishing. It's usually on Mondays where I do all my publishing for my videos. So make sure that you have a process. And then the third element of a system is that you have a way of measuring. So you can understand what's working over time, what it needs to be tweaked, so you can continue to improve. So that's a step. Create a system for you. And honestly, the system of batching is so helpful, especially whenever you are super busy and it's not that you're going to have all the time in the world whenever you feel like it to do it. So I do believe a lot in batching. For me, Mondays is the day that I create a lot of content that I can use over time. Number five, just to start with something and don't overcomplicate it, think about like content buckets. So that way you can start alternating among the three of them. This is what I mean. One of your content buckets is going to be value. This is where you are educating. This is where you are teaching your audience, your clients or future clients. The second one is voice, and it's about what matters to you. What are you standing for? What are you advocating for? This is where you're creating connection. This is what separates you from others because this is you, your stories. This is where you connect with your audience in a very authentic way. And then the third one is visibility. See, all of them starts with a V, just so that way you can remember. But visibility is about credibility. Like, who are you? What do you do? So people can see you in action. If you're speaking, if you're coaching, whatever is the product that you're selling, your testimonials. So people know who you are and they also understand the experience that you provide to your clients. And if you don't have a business, honestly, think about testimonials. It could be even a mentee that gave you a really good feedback about something that they learned from you. That could be also a form of testimonial for you. Value, voice, visibility. Those are the content buckets. Number six, this is where you are creating content. And at the end of the day, there's like five different ways on how you can create it, because a lot of people automatically think, oh, but I don't want to do videos. And by the way, if that's you, I just did a video about getting confidence to be on video for social media. Make sure you watch it because it's going to add a ton of value for you. But to my point, that's just one of the things that you can provide in social media, especially if you're thinking about LinkedIn and Instagram, Facebook. One type of content is if you are really good at writing and just keeping people. It's so funny because a lot of people say, oh, keep it short, keep it short. And I still have a friend, and I know that she used to work for Zumba, and she used to write this long post And I'm thinking, who's going to read that? Well, guess what? She had a huge following. People love everything that she wrote. So I don't think it really is about the quantity, it's about the quality. And if you're an amazing storytelling like writer, just use your superpower. You're going to connect with people, you're adding value, you're teaching them, you're empowering them. They are going to connect with you. The second one is the video, just like I'm doing right now. And honestly, on these days, unless you're in these long format videos that you see here in YouTube, you can really do just 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 60 seconds of a video. It really doesn't take a lot of time or effort. And when it comes to video, there are many different ways, but one of the strategies that I share a lot here from Dan Martell, the content banger, which is one problem, one story or metaphor or analogy, and then one solution. And you can do that in 45 seconds, no problem. Number three is the carousel, and I use Canva for that. And those are the ones that sometimes you are looking at the phone and you do this to the right, you swipe it to the right because you see the 5 tips to create your personal brand or 4 mistakes I made when I first created my business. And then every single picture has a different tip or a different insight or learning. That's a carousel, and I use Canva for that. Those you see a lot, especially in Instagram. You see them also in TikTok now, but there's also a way to leverage them for Facebook and LinkedIn if you want to. And then you can just have a picture. But many of my clients are like, oh, but I don't want to be in the picture. Like I need to be all done or makeup. Or you know what? I don't think people care so much about you as you think so. And they're not there to see your pretty face. They're there to learn and get inspired. So it doesn't mean that you have to be in the picture every single time. If you're reading a book, just take a picture of the book. And then your content is going to be about your key 3 learnings about the book. If you went to a conference, it could be just a picture of the conference and what you learned from the conference. It doesn't have to be anything that you have to be in every single picture for the audience. Remember, they are not there for you, they are there for what you have to say and what you have to share. So, my friend, if inspiration strikes you at a Starbucks or on the train or wherever you're at, just take a picture of where you're at and say, hey, I was reflecting and I had this big aha moment. And people love those aha moments. So, make sure that you share that. You inspire, you empower, you educate. And then another thing that has been really popular lately is a 7-second video of something. I mean, sometimes I just have a picture of the sunsets, not a picture, a video of the sunset back home in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, because they're the best sunsets in the world. And I just have a quote, an inspiring quote, or something you want to share just with the moving video of 7 seconds. And honestly, those are performing very well lately. Two principles that I love when it comes to creating content is that don't focus so much on creating, but think about capturing the moment, the realization moment, the aha moment. When you have that energy, they say, oh, I should do and speak about that. Just grab the camera and go for it. And the other principle that I always share, you're not there to impress, you are there to add value. So always add value. It's not about you. 2 more steps. Number 7 is that always have a CTA or a call to action. So every time you do your post, your video, your carousel, whatever it is, the content that you decided to go for, make sure you have one that is what you want the audience to do. Add any other insight that has worked for you. So then you want people to engage with your content. Let me know if you agree or disagree, or follow for more content. Make sure you share this with your community. Let's get stronger together. Whatever is that CTA, always have something at the end of your caption. And step number 8 is my authenticity check, because I know these days we have tools that can really speed up the process of editing or the process of brainstorming, the process even of scripting. But at the end of the day, it needs to sound like you. So always do a final check. Is this something that I will say? Are those the words that I usually say? Is this really in alignment with who I am? And honestly, there's been some times that just for the sake of expediting, I say, okay, let me see and read this. And like, no, forget about that. Let's just go with alignment, because I know that's how I can connect the best. And that's also what's going to help you separate you from others. At the end of the day, make it fun. When they start saying, oh, I have to, I got to, today is content day, then there's something there that you lost the alignment. Make sure that you go about alignment, about adding value, and make it fun with a really cool, why are you doing this? Like at the end of the day, you know that you have that outcome. Make sure you pair it with a really good, yummy why, because this is going to make this whole process easier in a way that is not burnout and something else that you have to do. Like fall in love with the person who is potentially on the other side listening to you, because you're doing it for them and not for you. Less pressure. And yes, leverage AI to expedite. It's a lever, but don't use it to substitute your essence and your content. At the end of the day, you don't have to fake it until you make it. You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to build it till you make it. Just own it. Imagine creating a brand that is so aligned and it gives you so much more energy that you start seeing opportunities that come your way that are the opportunities that are meant for you. That's the power that you have when you show up in an authentic way and also consistent way and build a brand that becomes a magnet. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe and you also share with others. I'm here to help and share the good, the bad, and the ugly so that way you don't have to learn by mistakes that I've done in the past. Let me know what questions you have, and I'm so happy to see you here. I'll see you on the other side.